So here we are in the month of November, and we have a new theme. Our theme for this month is Loving the Unlikable. And we are continuing with our theme for the year of 2025, Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. So the title of our talk today will be Sacred Circulation, and it will be presented by our wonderful Reverend Charlene. We are so glad that you took some time to join us. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations, please be sure to include those in the chat. And when we get to that portion of our service, Reverend Charlene will be sure to include that. We do our prayer following our message, and our prayer is an affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment. Okay, with all that and a little kitten by my side, we're ready to sit back and enjoy our welcoming video. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is. All right, so the title of our talk is Sacred Circulation. And you know me, if you're a regular attendee. Oh my goodness. You know that I like to do the loving kindness meditation at the start of every month or sometime during the month, because I really believe in the power of this meditation. And I was listening to someone else do this meditation this morning, and they were talking about how it is a meditation of compassion for yourself and for others. And that is the sacred circulation, right? So sit back with all that introduction, relax, get into a comfortable position, and let's take a few deep breaths. Breathe in and hold and release, slowing our breath down. Breathe in and hold and release. Thinking about that circulation that you just experienced, right? Giving and receiving. So with all that, let's go in to this meditation called the loving kindness meditation. So I'm going to say 4 phrases, and the first one is delivered to yourself. We need to show compassion to ourselves. As I say the phrase, repeat it after me. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be happy. All right, giving all that wonderful loving kindness to yourself. And now it's time to give it to others. Think of someone in your life, someone who's near and dear to you, someone who can be in the room with you, or someone who's far away, whoever you think needs this message right now. And let's send that message of compassion and loving kindness out to a loved one or friend. Here we go. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be happy. All right, so keeping in mind our theme for the month of November, loving the unlikable. I want you to think of someone that maybe there's a little tension, you're having a moment, you're at odds, there's a little stress between you. Something isn't quite right, but that person needs compassion and loving kindness as well. What we sow, we reap, and what we spread out just expands. So let's send that person loving kindness. Do you have someone in mind? Here we go. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be happy. All right, it didn't hurt too badly, did it? No. All right, one last one. We're going to send this out to a special group. If you have a group in mind, it could just be to all living things that share this beautiful planet with us. Let's send this out. Here we go. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. May they be happy. All right, take a moment just to soak in the compassion that you gave to yourself, the compassion that you gave to others, and slowly join us as we sit back and enjoy music by Leah.
And as Leah prepares to come forth, she is in the room with us. I'm so excited that she's here live and in person. And I'm just going to remind you today and next Sunday, we're going to be continuing through our Dia de los Muertos, consciousness of circulation. And that's what I'm going to be blending into the talk. Now, it could be that Leah would like me to play that video of hers.
I
If she,
would love for you to please play that
I
video,
would,
Reverend
I would
Charlotte.
love to do so. Okay, one moment. Here it comes. It's fantastic. We love it. Oh, I love it. Y'all don't know yet.
We are waves of the same ocean. We are rays of one bright sun. We are leaves in a changing forest, sharing breath since time began. Tell me where the waves retire. Can anyone reveal? With every breath we are inspired to live as though this dream is real. We are drops in the same fountain. We are blades in a flowing field. We are sand in a shining desert. As we recall, we are here. As we recall, we are
Can't hear me saying, wow, I love that. It was amazing. And I'm so moved by it. So I'll say it again. Thank you, Leah. That's such a beautiful video. Um, so welcome. Welcome to November 2nd. This is the actual Day of the Dead, when we remember those who gave before us. And so this is as I mentioned earlier, we were doing our 3-week consciousness of circulation and giving and receiving. And I love that also, parallel to this talk, is the talk that the rest of CSL is doing, their global theme. The title today is Loving the Unlikable. And I find it fitting that typically when centers start talking about giving, people don't like that. People don't like it. I mentioned last week the horrifying moment when a minister shamed someone who was stepping forth with a gift, but it wasn't what he asked for, and he made her look bad, and everybody laughed. That's why people get a feeling of I don't like this. And it's because people focus too much on actual money and they make it more important. And so that's the part that's not likable. It's not likable when people focus on money. But you know what? Money happens to be the medium through which we use. It used to be cowrie shells. It did. You see my earrings? People used to collect these. And when they collected them and had a bunch of them, they were rich. And then the rich people would exchange the cowrie shells for other goods. So we've decided that where we're going to put our energy of abundance and feeling wealthy, it would be held in a fungible token. Sorry, I can't help with my IT self. Anywho, we've all decided that money is the thing that has our energy and our value. And so that's unfortunately, what we have to focus on when we're trying to put together a business plan and a budget. But let's not get it twisted, as the kids say. We are actually talking about consciousness. It is a consciousness of wealth in many ways, where we're giving and receiving energy. We're giving and receiving what each other values. We come into these environments and we're that, like the waves in that video, that are one wave that's kind of breathing in and out. We are also breathing in and out. Now, I did talk to you about this last Sunday. And so, but today is the official day that in Mexico and in communities all across the world, there are families that all gather in order to honor the deceased, and they actually offer gifts. And so these offerings I show you here behind me, these are gifts that are being offered, not because the dead need gifts. Just like when people refuse to put money into the collection plate as it goes by, they go, no, because God doesn't need money. Have you ever heard that one? God doesn't need money. God's rich. Why do I have to get? I've heard this a lot. So it's not that the dead need the gift. What it is, it's for the living. The living need to complete the circle of giving and receiving, because you see, the ancestors gave us from their abundance, from their beingness. They gave us, at the very minimum, their genes, and then so much more, right? And so to complete the circle, we, the recipients of this gift, we give back. And so that's completing the circle. And we give in honor of these ancestors. That is the law of circulation in action that culminates today, November 2nd. So it's kind of wild. And when I looked at this, I thought, well, of course, this is what Science of Mind teaches. We don't necessarily believe in the whole, like, there's a cross behind me somewhere. We don't necessarily believe in all of the trappings of any particular tradition, but we love a good symbol to turn us within to where is it within ourselves that we can do this type of thing. And so we love a good metaphor, love a good story. And so with Science of Mind, we're talking about giving back to that infinite source from which we receive. So it's still a circulation. Now, if you look at an altar in the Mexican Day of the Dead, you would see levels, you would see layers. And what they do is the multiple levels, at least 3, goes up to 7, depending on how detailed your celebration of this tradition goes. But here's what you would see. It would start with the lowest level, which is the earthly realm. And then for each level of the altar, you would have ancestors that are moving upwards in their unfoldment of their consciousness. So I believe that their ritual here on earth is some sort of reciprocal thing. Like on earth, you're offering your gifts so that your ancestor can move through the unseen levels of consciousness, and you're helping them achieve their highest state. And it depends on the altar, whether that's a 3-stage state, 4 or 5 or 7-stage state. And this, my friends, is also not new. The movement of consciousness from the lowest level to higher levels of consciousness, does this sound familiar? It does to me. In fact, I found something for you. Let me get back into sharing. I found some details. Of course, I found details. And then I had one of my AI friends mock it up into a diagram. And this is just a small little overview of, if you look across the world's traditions, you will find levels of consciousness that we move through. And you don't have to die to move through these levels of consciousness. You'll recognize the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life. They've got about 10 of these. It's not all shown on this diagram. You've got your chakra system. We're all very familiar with the root chakra moving all the way up to the crown chakra. And when we move through those, we're moving through different layers or levels of consciousness. The Buddhists, they don't use levels or layers. They use a wheel, because the Buddhists understand that it's all a circular thing. that one is not higher than another. It's just part of this circle of life. And also, hey, good old Maslow, if you're not into the spiritual side of it, Maslow's hierarchy of needs presents to us that there's like a pyramid, and the basic level is okay, just get your physical needs met. Anything else is gravy, and then climb up that little pyramid, and that's more of a tiered way of being. But no matter what tradition you may be coming from, and I could only fit 4 into one of these slides, I think we'll all agree that the Day of the Dead is simply a representation of the fact that, yes, we move through different stages. Now, when it comes to our tradition, our science of mind, Ernest Holmes taught that there are about 4 stages here. That we go from the victim consciousness to me. It's done to me. And as we do our spiritual practices, we understand that we have more of a hand in this life than we thought. And we move from to me, we call it victim consciousness, but it's a bit of a harsh word. Victims, it's kind of a harsh word, so we'll just say to me. Things happen to me and I don't have a hand in it. The next layer in our little 4 stages are by me. I do have a say in what happens in my life. So what happens by me, by my intention, by my prayer, by my treatment, my meditation, my affirmations, I am able to affect my life. I get to say. And then there'll be a point where you don't feel as much as I'm doing it as it's happening through me. You become through me as a conduit. And then, of course, that's one of those things where you're just a vessel for the divine. You show up because the divine would like to send a message. And you're still here, but it's not so much ego driven. It's not so much, I did that by me. As well, it's a divine blessing. And somebody compliments you and you're just like, it's glory be to the divine who gives me the strength or gives me the talent, who gives me this energy, right? And then there'll be a stage called the as me, where you are no longer separate from this divine being who at times channels through you. You just become living, breathing, walking around as the hands, the mouth, the arms, the voice of the divine itself. There is no more any separation. And that's what Ernest Holmes teaches. And through each one of these traditions, what I'm trying to say is that we need to keep completing that circle. Keep completing that circle, because as we continue to give, we continue to receive. And as we receive, we feel more empowered to start making more decisions. We'll move through that level to the next, You are looking at a consciously growing person. Now, their consciousness is growing, but they're consciously doing it. And that word, if you say it enough times, it stops meaning anything. So just know this, that there is a mind of the divine moving through all things, moving through you too. And you get to choose with your conscious mind what you're going to pay attention to. What's it going to be? Moment by moment by moment, you are choosing where to place your attention, and that place you put the attention is what will grow in your life. And by correlation, that which you don't pay attention to will not get as much energy from you, and it will start to fade away. And so these are the things we teach. That's true. That's fantastic. And how do you apply this to your actual spiritual life? By giving and completing the circle, it means you must first start with gratitude, because you definitely received something. And even in our worst moments, when we think that we don't have anything, there's always something to give. Something actually to give gratitude for. Now, I'm not even saying give anything away. Something to give thanks for. And I think Helen Keller was credited with this. Tamara might remind me, she might not if she can remember this. Helen Keller, who famously, when she was very, very young, got sick and immediately was no longer able to hear or see. yeah, she lost a lot of her senses. But she was taught how to read Braille, and she was taught how to sign, okay? And I remember her being quoted as saying, "I used to mourn because I had no shoes, but then I met a man who had no feet." And that sentiment, it's pretty deep. Now, I don't know if you've had that feeling before where you are comparing yourself to someone who has a lot of things, and then you look at what you have and you say, "Well, I have nothing." Well, compared to that, sure. But who's comparing themselves to you? And knowing that they wish that they had what you don't seem to notice it, that you've got a lot of because you're so busy wanting what the next person has. I almost imagine a chain of unconscious wanting, and everyone is looking to someone else. Each person, and it doesn't stop. I imagine that this chain of wanting goes infinitely into the beyond. Because I hear stories of Silicon Valley people who, by all of our stretches of comparison, multimillionaires, great. But then some of them who are already multimillionaires are jealous of the hundred millions. And those people want to be like the billionaires, and those people want to be like probably the trillionaire, if there's a trillionaire yet. So what I want to remind us is that we do have something to be grateful for, and that is the place to begin. Begin right where you are, look around you, and sometimes you don't even know to be grateful for it until it's taken away. Have you ever had a stuffy nose? And you realize all those times you weren't grateful for just, oh man, to do that again. This is the idea. So now starting with gratitude, that's your receiving, and then you give and you complete the circle. So how do we give from that sense of already having? And I want to caution us to not give from a sense of not having, right? Always start with a sense of gratitude and give from a sense of abundance. And that is where you will get that reciprocity coming back to you, pressed down and flow and running over. So who gave to you spiritually? And then you say, thank you. And then give that same gift or something from that overflow, give that to someone else. And now your altar here is not going to be a physical altar. My analogy is now all about our internal scaffolding, where we've got to be brutally honest and figure out internally, what do we give back to ourselves or to our ancestors? Now, to make the analogy perfect, here's what happens. When someone in the Mexican tradition of the Day of the Dead, when they approach the altar, they look at the face of their ancestor and they think about, what did they really like? So if grandpa over my shoulder, if he really liked tequila, what I would do is I'd go get some tequila. Unless there's small children in the house, then I would get some brown colored water, because children. And I will place that in a shot glass and I'll put it right there on that altar. That is the scaffolding that we have inside of us. So if we look at the gifts inside that we've been given, and those of you who are musicians, you know what your gift is. And for me, I know I'm boundless in terms of energy, to the point where people wonder, is she okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little hyper. It's fine. So where did I get that? And then what does that person really like? In my altar of my consciousness, even though Alice is still with us, praise Jesus, I think about what Alice really likes. She loves to shop and gives gifts to people. She loves to give a gift. And so then I'll think, how can I honor that person? How can I honor the fact that she gave me so much? How can I honor her? I turn around and I'll give somebody a gift, especially someone who doesn't expect it. And I'll tell them the way my mom does. She'll say, close your eyes and open your hands. And then you got to do like that. And then she'll put something in your hand. And you're like, oh my God. So find a way to honor that person. And just go through your life, go through the lineage of who gave to you. Do it spiritually too. Who gave to you spiritually? Did someone say something or make a prayer for you? Or when did you feel blessed spiritually? Then go inside and find a way to give what they like to someone. So that's the idea of the Day of the Dead wisdom. And if you want to look where you're currently giving, look at your calendar. That's right. Look at your event calendar, and I want you to compare it to what you say that your values are and what you actually spend your time doing. Because I want you to treat for the next week. I want you to treat every day, if you can do it every hour and every day, but fine. I'll take it at a day level, where every day you spend some time giving back the way that it was given to you. Now, those of you who are in the giving profession, you've already got this handled. I know some of you are teachers, and some of you, just your daily job is to give, give, give. And so for you, I want you to look at your free time. How do you spend your free time? Because I want you to look at your free time and see if it honors those who have given to you. Are you giving back? Are you completing the circle? If not, do it. Complete the circle this week, because I predict that you will become more wealthy. Now, I don't mean you're going to get more cowrie shells, although you might. I know that you're going to feel like you have more to give. And time is funny. Time stretches to accommodate the things you're doing for the highest good. It does. It's crazy how that works. Prove me wrong. Okay, so in this, I'm saying you have an altar within. That altar is going to be honored by you, and you're going to be placing things on it. Why? Because by moving up these stages of consciousness, you're bringing your awareness into your everyday living, and you are making the world a better place. Be it a small contribution, you don't know. You don't know if that contribution is going to ripple out and change the entire world. Think of the way the butterfly flaps its wings in one part of the world, and now there's a tornado in another part of the world. There's one disturbance. One change can cause a ripple effect. Now, if you think about your calendar as your sort of altar, then different types of giving on that calendar, different types of ways of spending your time are super important. Like, for example, if we're using the calendar as a representation of scaffolding of an altar, imagine that this calendar also needs for you to spread out your time where you're giving, or I'm going to say little boxes, because that's what a calendar is, where some of it represents you giving your time, but other little boxes are going to represent you giving of money, or you're giving of your talent. So time, treasure, and talent, these are the 3 T's when we're looking at giving in a spiritual manner. Not everything is going to benefit from an extra dollar, but a lot of times that is a way you can give. But what 2-year-old wants $1? I'll take that back. What 1-year-old wants $1? They don't know what to do with money. They just, come on, it's just fun. I saw a video of a girl shredding dollar bills because it's paper. Get the kid, get it, move them away from the shredder. The child recognizes your presence, your time. That's what they value. So if your calendar is a scaffolding of a type of altar where you place your attention, how much of it are you giving? Are you just putting money where you should be placing your time and your actual attention? Or what are you placing? What are you doing? Where are you putting your gifts? Now, last week I mentioned something about giving and receiving. And sometimes we put the receiving first by accident, and we don't realize that we're walking up to a hearth and expecting, nay, demanding heat. Give me heat. But I mentioned how last week that was kind of ridiculous, because how does that work? How do you demand heat from a hearth that you haven't first placed logs in. And so it was to the degree where I was mentioning last week, some people say, well, I would give time, but I have no time. When I get time, then I'll give time. Okay. So you have to give it in order to get it. The same is true for money. Well, as soon as I get more money, I'll give from there. But it turns out you have to give first, because then the universe presses down and matches that, and it runs over. And so if we're thinking of what we want from the world is maybe a little warmth, let's see, are we giving anything out? Should we get some logs? Now I want you to think about logs for 1 second. Time, talent, treasure could be like 3 separate types of logs. Aspen, which burns fast, that's one type of log. Oak, it's consistent, it burns slow and steady. And then a pine, woo, that smells great. And it really and it enriches the way that fire smells. So after researching these 3 different types of logs that you can put in the fire, it kind of represents the type of giver somebody at a community like ours would be. And many of you here are that long, consistent oak, that one. You consistently give. You got your time. You're giving your time. You're giving your talent. You're giving your treasure. And you're doing it all, and you're just that long. And there are some people that come and they give a little bit and then they disappear, or they come to a class. They're more like, aspen. Fast and bright, but it's not any consistent commitment. And sometimes, the pine makes it smell delicious. These are when we get our fundraisers, where people offer their time, treasure, and talent, and they just enrich the being. Every part of CSL Leesburg, it's kind of like a fire, and we're all logs. We're giving of ourselves as giving logs to this fire. And so with this circulation idea, I'm just trying to nudge something inside of you that says, I am part of something bigger. I am neither just a giver, nor am I just a receiver. I am a giver and a receiver, and I'm in a flow. And when I participate in the flow, things grow. And so I just want to ask you, as you move through this week, I want you to give all 3 to somebody. I want you to give 1 time. Give something unexpected to someone. It could be this community. It could be anywhere. Just give. Notice how you feel. Reach out, show up, give your time, something unexpected time. And then second thing, it's 3 little check boxes on a big old calendar of your life. You could do it. Second thing, talent. Identify 1 gift that you're good at this. It's nothing for you. You do that in your sleep. What is that thing? Offer to give it to someone who seems to be, they don't know how to do that like I do it. I want to give you a quick example. I've been working with Rose. She comes to our dream study. She's been coaching me through TikTok. There's no way I would have stayed on this app more than 2 seconds. The way TikTok is hard to figure out. And you would think it was easy, right? It's one of those things. I'm not used to the interface. I didn't know to press the button and then do this. Oh, is that what that symbol is? What does that do? I would have left a long time ago. But because she gives me an hour every Saturday morning, she talks me through it. I'm not terrified of it anymore. And I kind of like it now. She gave her talent in a way she knew I needed it. So what can you do? What do you have? Let's hear it. And then treasure, obviously. Now, of course, moving about your week, do you see a way to tip somebody? Can you give a little extra to the person who brought the thing to your door? Practice giving a little extra, not a lot, just a little, see how it feels. And I'll meet you next week for the culmination of this 3-part series. I hope you're getting a lot out of it. I know I am. Let's go into prayer. There's one divine light, and that light is the light of this entire existence known as life. This one universal energy that gave birth to all that is, that flung the planets into the sky, and is the gravity that holds all of us together. This divine being is a beingness. It's a quality. It's an essence, ineffable, yet fully palpable, right here, right now, this divine presence breathes through me, as us. And so in this oneness, I speak my word that all is well, that right here, right now, we are so blessed. We are full of gratitude for all the blessings that we know that we've received and all the blessings that we don't even know that we've received. And from this sense of gratitude, I speak my word that we are abundant. We give of ourselves. We are a blessing to this planet. We give and give and give, and life is so good. We lighten the load of others and we smile. We smile because we know that when we do that loving kindness meditation and we wish them well and we wish them to be happy, we get that sense that true happiness is definitely free of darkness and free of anything that goes against the highest good. I mean, we know when even these people who seem to be the worst, when we wish them the highest happy, the highest good, we know that that can only hold light and all darkness must flee. And that is the beautiful gift of that loving kindness meditation. That is the beautiful gift of this community. That is the divine in action. We are that. So I simply say thank you, life. Thank you, God. Thank you, whew, divine beingness. I release my word into the law. I let it go. I let it be. And so it is. And so it is. All right, let's see.
I don't have to like it, but I can learn to love it and let that urge to resist just fade away. I don't have to like it, but when I learn to love it, I let the good and the gift come find me anyway. Just fade away. I don't have to like it, but when I learn to love it, I let the good and the gift come find me anyway. Ooh, I don't have to like it, but I can learn to love it. Let that urge to resist just the good and the gift come find me anyway. I let the good find me anyway.
All right. Wow. All right. Wow. I'm hearing an echo, Charlene. How's that? Let's try that. Is that good? Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up. All right. So I let the good come anyway. All right, folks. Now is the time that we bless the gifts that we receive. You heard the theme of today is sacred circulation. And we truly, there's that echo again. We believe in the law of circulation. What you give, so shall you receive. And that is so, so true. You find yourself giving, and all of a sudden you're aware of all the things that come back to you, living in that state of gratitude. And there are so many ways for you to give. If you're a regular here at CSL Leesburg, I hope you found a way that works for you. And if not, take another look at that screen. You know that right now is the time that our leadership council is setting up our budget next year. What we do through our Sunday service, our workshops, and our classes is because you give. And as a result, we're able to give to our members and our visitors. So we thank you so much for your donations. You keep us going because you keep giving. All right, let's bless our gifts. Please join me. The presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I'm a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. Beautiful. And like I said, and what Reverend Charlene was talking about, this is our time. We're going to complete our altar next week, wrapping up our 3-week focus on conscious giving. And we will be making our committed pledges for the year 2026 so that the Leadership Council can put together our budget and share this with the members at our annual meeting. So please bring a candle. We're going to have a special ceremony for this. And we look forward to you joining us next Sunday. All right, with all that, let's just wrap it up with our closing affirmation. And don't forget, if you can hang out with us for a little bit afterwards, we do what we call pearls, where we share, was there anything with the meditation or the music or the message that you would like to discuss? Sometimes we just swap book ideas. Sometimes we just kind of catch up with each other. So if you can stay, please hang out with us. And if you can't, you know that we're going to send you off with our blessings and our love after we do our closing affirmation. So here we go. Think back to that meditation. Think back how we can give compassion to ourselves. Wrap your hands around yourself and just remind yourself, I am love.
I am love.
Yeah,
I am
I was just going to say, I didn't hear anybody, but that's okay. Unmute if you can. You know I love this. Now, like we've been talking about, we give compassion to ourselves, but we also give to others. So let's send that out. It could be somebody in the room with you. It could be somebody who's at a distance. Let's send out a wave of love to somebody who really needs it right now. You ready? You are love.
You are love.
Yes, I love that. All right, now we do our love sprinkles. Here we go. Showering the world, the planet. It's so needed. It's always needed. Here we go. It's all love.
It's all love.
I love it. Nancy, I can especially hear you. Thank you so much. Loud and proud is what I like to say. All right, folks, if you can stay with us, please hang on. If you can't, know that we send you off. Maybe you're going out to check out the foliage like Nancy and her granddaughter. Maybe you just have things on your to-do list. But we thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. And we look forward to seeing you next Sunday.